Biggest temptation that everyone face when they hear the messages and predictions about the end time, the temptation is always to be ahead of the Lord rather than following Him. We want to lead the Lord rather than aligning Him to it. We want to jump ship. And this is why this message is saying, you will not be able to make the decision. Often in an attempt to preserve the faith, in an attempt to preserve what is left, people jump ship. That's the reason why the Orthodox Church left the Catholic Church in 1054. They believe they want to preserve the faith and curtail some of the excesses that were going on in the church. And that perhaps the end time had come. This was in 1054 AD. Changes are coming. A lady has been worrying about this for years. The Book of Truth and so many other mystics have been saying this. They were supposed to have happened many years ago, but prayers, sacrifices, penance have delayed it. And now finally we are where we are today, at the threshold of history, where biblical prophecy of the banning of the daily sacrifice is about to be accomplished. And this is why yesterday, during my talk in the morning, I asked us if we, as lay people, know what exactly the words of consecration are. If you do not know when it is changed, how will you know that it has been changed? Anybody who is preparing for this event must run away from changes. Their father was changed. And many people, even many of the remnants, followed him, saying, and do not say, hey. If their father had been said for 2,000 years in this form, and God did not complain, why change it? Tradition is tradition for a reason. It is not for fun. They are unchangeable and immutable. Once the truth is changed, it is no longer truth. So we must be aware of this. I also mentioned yesterday that there are three major conditions for validity that, according to the Catholic dogma, unleavened bread and the approved wine has to be used for saying Mass. But that in some parts of Europe and America today, it is the Mass server who gives you options of several wines and asks you to choose that this one is sweeter. It has also been reported that in some parishes, biscuits, cookies are used instead of unleavened bread. These are things that affect the Catholic dogma. The border on the Catholic dogma regarding what is to be used for Mass. Secondly, the priest must believe in the true presence. We When Jesus gave that message to an American mystic, he said, well, you will not be able to know except you are close to the priest and you have had his views. So you will not be able to know whether he believes or not. But let's assume he believes. And then the third one is that he has to use the correct words of consecration. Take and eat. This is my body. Like John said, at least in the new mass, it said audibly, so we can hear it. In the traditional mass, the priest says it silently. Of course, the traditional mass forbids any kind of innovation or change. So these other things will be changed to so many other things in the mass. You know, but Jesus told the American mystic that as long as these three essentials are correct, whatever other changes that happen, you have a valid mass. And the message today is saying, keep attending. Many people in several remnant groups, in anticipation of these changes that have not yet come, have already run out. They are telling our Lord, do you not care? The boat is sinking. Like the apostles in Peter's boat. That boat belonged to Peter and it represents the church. I had an issue with one of our traditional priests. He said, he asked me to church and what our own. He has gone to one of these other groups that were mentioned. He asked me what church are you talking about? Is it Pope Francis Church? I said, Father Francis does not own the church. He is not the owner. The church belongs to Christ. He cannot kill it. Yes, he will do terrible damages. And many souls will be lost. But the church cannot die. It will triumph. Which one of you will have your father's house on fire? And the first thing to do is to run away, to go out. If one of those apostles in that boat had decided to jump out of the boat because there was a storm at sea, where will they jump into? We will encourage to look out for many Holy Marian priests. Have ties with them. Yes, the message says when Francis stops the Mass. But I tell you, many Masses will go on in secret. Yes. The catacombs will come back. There will be hiding places. These things happened even at the time of St. Peter, when Catholicism was an illegal religion. And Catholics would indicate the venue for Mass by drawing the sign of a fish on the ground. Only the Christians understood what it meant because the fisherman was in town. I don't know how many of us have heard the film known as Quo Vadis. Quo Vadis. St. Peter came to Rome. And when he came in the midnight, because Catholicism was illegal, he would celebrate Mass in hiding by midnight. And people will attend. Before morning, they are done. And everybody will go home. And while on one occasion, after saying Mass, there will be greater persecution arose in the road. And Christians were being slaughtered. Used to entertain lions. Lions were tearing Christians apart, eating them. While Nero, the first Antichrist, and his group were clapping and enjoying themselves, watching Christians burned to death or eaten by lions. Peter decided to flee from Rome. On the way, he encountered Christ. who showed himself going back to where Peter was going away. And they had to ask him, Martin, go over this dummy. Where are you going, Lord? He said, I'm going to Rome to die for my people for the second time. Since you are the leader, he's running away. Immediately that apparition vanished and Peter understood. He remembered when Jesus told in the Gospel of John, when you were young, you go wherever you would. A time will come when you will grow old. I cannot move, and somebody will put a belt around your waist and drag you to where you will rather not go. Remember, he was running away from Rome. He would rather not go there. He got courage and went back. Entered the stadium where the killings were going on. And with so much courage, and from the crowd, he said, blessed are you who die in the name of Jesus. And the emperor asked, who is that? He said, it is the fisherman from Galilee. He said, go and arrest him. Because now it's time. It's time up. And he was put in prison where he encountered a couple, a Roman general who had been convicted because he wanted to marry a Christian girl. In fact, Peter welcomed them in prison, right there. The next day, they told him, it is your turn to die. We are going to crucify you. Peter said, oh, the way I will die. What a great honor. I don't deserve it. It's okay. If that's the case, we'll crucify you upside down. And he was crucified in the Vatican. The Vatican yields. And that is why all the popes have always been there. And archaeological excavation took place between the 60s and 70s. And the remains of St. Peter was brought out from under the high altar. There was actually a lever in iron, Petrus something, you know, and it was dated back to the 1st century. So this is the background we have. So the boat today is at storm, and our Lord is there. He may appear to be sleeping, but he is there. And many are asking him, do you not care? We are sinking. And Jesus says, men of little faith, I am here and you think the boat will sink me. The boat will sink its creator. So we need to have this faith and understand. When the time comes, you say, it will not be you who will make the decision. In fact, it will be like you are forced. Because for one thing, once the mass is changed, that it is no longer mass, it becomes invalid. Just understand that wherever the true mass is said, that becomes the church. The other ones have apostatized. They have left. They are the ones who left the faith. You are not the one to leave. Yeah, they can, as St. Athanasius said, they can control the buildings, but you will keep the faith. But be careful not to jump ship. Do not be the one to lead Christ, to tell him, let us leave. Time has not come. Now, one of the messages in the precious blood was very clear about this. He said, even when the evil man succeeds in climbing the highest throne in my holy church, do not desert the church. I will be with her till the end of time. He repeated it about 4 times. He said, I say this with great agony. I can see the faithlessness of my people. So, but we must understand what the church is. And from this message, knowing the decision will remain by God. Today, among traditionalists, you have so many splinter groups that are not in communion with the church. Some people will just hire a private house, and a priest will come and say mass. There is no bishop, or maybe it's one bishop somewhere in the US who is giving the directives. People who are doing this have jumped ship before the time. It is not proper. Jesus told the precious blood seer, think of what will happen to a nation if the warriors desert the war front. The enemy will capture it without difficulty. I call it a martyrdom of hearts and of blood. Many will be killed while trying to prove the faith. The Blessed Mother classified the things that are commonly into four. In speaking to Father Gobi. So first of all, there will be a bloody persecution. No, first of all, the spread of error. This error will spread throughout the world. And as it is being spread by high-ranking theologians in Catholic institutions who are no longer teaching the Catholic faith, but a Protestantized form of it. And because of the high-ranking professors, it's carrying a certain legitimacy, and many people are accepting it. Of course, the originators and the ecclesiastical, yes. Part of their duty is to reinterpret the scripture. The Blessed Mother said, empty it of its supernatural content. We hear this every day in Port Harcourt, mostly in Siwa. Did Jesus really walk on water? That's a bit difficult. These are stories. Last two Sundays, the one we had was God never really rested on Sunday. These things that Bible is saying. I mean, from Catholic pulpits, and God did not rest on the Sabbath. God didn't rest on the Sabbath. Okay, if He rested on the Sabbath, there are people who are conceiving on that day. Who put the child there? That means He worked on the Sabbath. Efforts are ongoing. And then, as time goes on, there will be no sin again. That is, people will be told, I know somebody who went to confession. And a white priest told the person, he confessed according to him fornication. And the priest told him, no, that this is natural. It's not, it's nature. You don't. And people are happy with this. So this spread of error has already gone so far. The Germans have played a very serious role in this. At some point, we fell out of the Benedict system. The German theologians, the world. After the spread of error includes all this communion and abuses and all that. One priest who came to me lecture a seminar in Port Harcourt was asked about purgatory. He laughed at the idea. He said, people do purgatory. You people. He was trying to say that there was nothing like that. That happened in St. John's in Port Harcourt. So these errors have spread and they are still spreading. The second one, the bloody persecution. Massive killings of those who are faithful, so many of those who are faithful to the truth. verse said, by accepting the Protestant doctrine, people will hold that the Holy Mass is no longer a sacrifice, but a sacred meal. I think that is the summary of what Father have been saying since. By accepting the Protestant doctrine. What is the Protestant doctrine? Sometimes you see Catholics who say, I follow my, and I hope we don't need to, I follow my relative to go do Thanksgiving for their church. Child dedication. These are sins against the faith. Even if it's your blood brother. Yes. We follow and go redeem, go do Thanksgiving. We follow and go and go do Thanksgiving. And we even receive communion there. Their communion is not the body of Christ. Why? First of all, they lost the priesthood when they left the Catholic Church. They don't believe in having yes. If you read the document, Paul insists on this. So they don't call their mother and father. They lost the priesthood. Without the priesthood, how can transubstantiation occur? Without the priest, no communion. There's no communion. So when they break bread, it was someone who was mentioning Monsignor Ozubulu. There was a time the Protestant pastor came to him to ask him, how do you people really do this thing so that it becomes the body and blood of Christ? Towards that priesthood according to the order of Melchizedek is not there. But by doing that, you have already sinned against the faith. You need to go to confession. If you see traditional missals, preparation for confession, remove them in the new ones. Part of the examination of conscience will be questions that we ask. Have I participated in the worship of other sects and denominations? My late sister called me one day and said she was going to be made a deacon, a deaconess. But I have to come. I said, you know I won't come. Same father and same mother. I said, you know I won't come. She got angry. But that's it. Jesus said, I have come to bring what? Division. Yes. The truth brings division. That's what the word of truth says. It brings division. One person wants to stand for the others don't want. So they do what they do and they share the bread, the ordinary bread and the ordinary wine. The lady said that by accepting the Protestant doctrine, people will hold that the Mass is no longer Mass, it's not sacrifice, it is a sacred meal. That on doing this is accomplished their revolutionary resolution. The Mass will now be separate. Because people will be waiting that a decree will come, maybe from the United Nations to say Mass has been banned. You will never see that kind of decree. It will be done internally. I mentioned yesterday that the foundations for all that Francis is doing now have been laid by the Second Vatican Council. There are chapters of books and books praising the Hindu religion. There are chapters praising the Muslims, Islamic religion. There are some praising the Buddhism, that these are great religions. You know, we need to admire them for their asceticism. You know, that eventually they find light. How? Outside Christ? God is the call for conversion. Whereas Vatican II is saying, you are a Muslim, remain there, you will be saved. You are a Buddhist, remain there, you will be saved. This is the basis of the one world religion that is coming. They will all be brought together inside the structures of the Catholic Church. At that point, you don't need anybody to tell you. Once the laws of consecration, because the laws of consecration will change. It will change. We already had the message. That is not mass anymore. And the divine presence will vanish. To some of them, Jesus said, many will seek my presence and find it not. And when many Magdalene, they will cry, where have they taken my Lord to? So these are the things that then after that, triumphantly, the beast will enter the temple. He will sit in God's temple and claim to be God and be adored as God. Revelation 13 verse 6 said the false prophet will open his mouth and utter blasphemies against God and all who dwell in heaven. So these are the things that are on ground. The church will go through a passion. The true church will become remnant to become underground. The priests who are faithful will be sent masses in hiding. And the loyalty will have to seek them out. For those of you who are so glued to your parish that you cannot move, even when you hear that there's another parish that doesn't do communion in the land. No, this one is my parish. This is where I've been attending. You need to move. You may not even get us every day. I have it on an irregular basis in different locations, refuge centers and so and so on. So, but it is important that we follow the Lord, that we wait for these events before we say we are out on our own. This is where the problem is coming from. A number of people within this group have subjected themselves to either the Seventh-day-Adventists, the SSPNs, and so on. These are traditional groups, but they are not in communion with the church. Remember, the church does not belong to Francis, it belongs to God. It is not him that will drive you out without altering the words of consecration yet. You have to wait for that. Be patient. Follow the Lord, let him lead you. One of the traditional groups that broke out from the church shortly after the Second Vatican Council, they are known as the Panamanian Catholics. They are domiciled in France. And according to their leader, who called himself Peter II, he said he was given the tiara of the Pope in a vision. You know what tiara is? We will not know because the popes after the Second Vatican Council, in fact, they gave it as a gift to a good soul of the UN Secretary General, along with the paper ring, the fisherman ring. So, the Pope now names the bishop's mitre. He's supposed to wear a crown that has 3 layers representing the Holy Trinity with a small cross on top. So that so-called Peter II brought one and said, heaven gave it to him in a vision. And what was the end result? He eventually got married and resigned. He has another successor now. He jumped outside the boat into the sea. The boat of Peter. Do you not care, Lord? We are sinking. Moral salvation. Pray for us. So this has also happened to so many traditional groups. Independent, higher in place, stay, no superior, or the bishop is somewhere and so on. From all the messages we have received so far, heaven does not approve of any of such independence. When we wanted to apply for the traditional Latin Mass in Port Harcourt, by then we had one priest, I won't mention his name because some of you might know him. He says the traditional Latin Mass, but he had not yet gotten a pulpit. So we were hoping that maybe through him, and we have the benefit of hearing from our Lord through the previous soul. And the instruction we got was that yes, the traditional Mass is my will, but you should seek it through the group in the church. Go to the fraternity of St. Peter in Lomaka. That was the direction we got. And that dawned on us. The Lord really cares about these things. He does. It's not just anywhere you see Mass you run to without asking questions. There are some Orthodox churches now that have also come into Nigeria. There's one around I've forgotten the name. They also say the word Mass, but they're not in the church. We now did the application, visited Fraternity of St. Peter and Lumaka. Father Maristus Eshoro was there. We were told we will get it, but we will suffer much before we get it. It took us nothing less than 10 years. We applied. Sometimes you come to see the bishop. The priest in charge will tell you the bishop is not in. While we are there, you see the bishop driving out. We went through a lot. Many of us were targeted. Some almost killed. I don't want to mention names, but I know that some of us fought for our lives at some point. But the day we came, we started having it. At some point, the bishop said, "Stop." We stopped. Later, he called us for a meeting. Eventually, we came back. And we were given the chapel where we have it. The Lord's way is difficult and full of persecution. Of course, if you go outside and have an independent group, that persecution will not be there. You'll be on your own. Nobody will criticize you. But that is not the way of the cross. It is the way of the cross that leads to salvation. Immediately Francis came on board, the Italian Bishops' Conference arranged a meeting. The first request abolished the traditional Latin Mass. Because the traditional Mass, as some mystics have said, gives you fullness of grace. In Pietà, Jesus said Mass is Mass, but the amount of graces are not the same. You know Pietà? Just go towards it and you see that. Yesterday we were talking about the fact that reverence helps to call down multiple graces. St. Joseph told the American mystic, you can measure the amount of grace from the Holy Mass by the amount of reverence shown by the priest and laity in that Mass. With all the shouting and riotous behavior going on today in Masses, many graces are lost. And this is why the world is in so much problem, because lots of graces are lost due to abuses and all manner of irreverences. So when you have the opportunity to, even within the movement, to seek out a more reverent celebration, it is better for your soul. It is more pleasing to God. It calls down lots of graces from you and for the world. So we have to work on this. The first thing is, as individuals, learn to attend Mass properly. Learn to attend Mass reverently. Understand that the Mass is not a film or disco hall. It is not a place to come for chatting. It is not a place for profane discussions. I have seen adults who will bring food to Mass. And water. Biscuit, they eat it during Mass. Or even outside the Bible before the blessed sacrament. Let us learn reverence. That is the essence of worship. And this is what the Masons are trying to destroy. They want to destroy faith, they want to destroy reverence. Eventually, the attack of the Latin Mass came back by suppressing the Supreme Pontificum of Benedict XVI that allowed the return of the Mass. But of course, the FSS was the branch of St. Peter David and Novena, and thereafter went to engage Francis in a discussion. And before he knew it, he said, okay, you are traditional groups, you were founded based on tradition. You are not among the people I'm talking about. As smart as FSS is, they told him, okay, put it in writing. Can you put it in writing, please? So he wrote it down as a decree. By the means they will publish it on their website. So, yes, we thank God for that. We are happy to hear that. And, I think there was a claim that they will later extend it to the other tribes, because there are so many traditional groups that are in full communion with the church. They are not as big as FSSP. But they are there. Christ the King, a good shepherd, is there. They are popular in Gabon, but also in Europe and America, and so many other places. There are so many of them. There used to be a group somewhere in Ibadan, Missionaries of the Immaculate. It's a traditional group. And then after that, this issue of communion in the hand that came as a result of, they introduced as a result of COVID in order to destroy the faith of Catholics. Of course, you are a teenager, you take it with your hand, isn't it?
Yes.
So they want you to think that this is Eba or Yam. Take it with your hand. We dwelt extensively on the particles yesterday. We had the privilege of getting a publication on particle study carried out in 2002 by a Eucharistic minister and his son in America. Anytime they touch the unconsecrated bread, they use the magnifying glass to observe the number of particles and counted it, recorded it. That was what made the Eucharistic minister to resign from that work. The bread is brittle. Once you touch it, some particles, no matter how microscopic, stick to your hands. But each of them is Jesus Christ, whether it is small or big. The priest who gives you the example that there's a motion, washes it and drinks the water. When you are receiving with hand, what happens? With your unconsecrated hand, eventually you drop them on the floor. And some people are pleased about that. Those who set up that, there's a book written by Michael Davis, Liturgical Time Bomb, after Vatican II. At each stage, a particular bomb will go off. At each point, all the mind, the word all religion is there in the Vatican II documents, even though they don't call it that. But it's there. At the proper time, the letter that we read that will reference Vatican II documents. All these are God's children.